French press. Light an L to alleviate the head stress. My emotions roll over like the headrest. On a plane I connected under sunsets. Start a rhyme for the time I got nothing left. Mom screaming, time's beaming, gotta make the best out this holiday weekend, what a success. I'm not high this evening, what an upset. Which flight will get me lifted where the sun rests? Time zones, don't know if she up yet. Google drone, metro phone, what's the subset? Find it out on your location, what is obsessed? I'm just kidding for the moment, maybe not yet. Chetty's chasing your reflection, so eternal yet. She was mountainous like Denver. It's cold inside this rental. Oh, how you in November? Hug me tighter in the winter. Sweater sessions, touch your linen, fire burning on your shoulder. You remember that our life is all worth living, even in times of forgiveness. It hurts to be so cold, seeing you on within December. Without your favorite nigga, Bob could probably paint the pictures. Flowers on your windows because you're my favorite art. You're my canvas, you're my heart. On this tablet I forgot. All this love from the start has got me thinking of it since we are apart. Hey.
The devil is real. And he's not a little red man with horns and a tail. He can be beautiful, because he's a fallen angel, and he used to be God's favorite.
Show me two options, so I had to take the third door. Had to take some time to analyze what really hurts more. Making from a 9 to 5 or being poor and going for it. Some say I'll be without, but time is really all we have. Walking around, hazy vision, living in the time lapse. We were never meant for that. I admire mama spent her life so my environment's conducive to aspiring. She's ironclad. When life strikes, she fires back. Resilient despite my dad's absence, so I admire that. I got my CDs, my T's, and my flyers packed. This is for my young lads and those who love my prior acts. Lump me with the 2010 kids who rap sad and act cathartic. Middle class aggression once expressed through whack guitar riffs. Too profound, leave a passerby so astounded. Why this kid lost his shit in the parking lot of Target, man, it's deeper than that. And this ain't for the niggas who will tweet before act. This is for my people out of reach of relief. Can't speak so they rap. For the tongue-tied young minds are seeking the gap. Holding on to their sanity while I'm preaching our sentiments of love and humanity. While I can't see the evidence. Been through the ringer of self-doubt and depression. It ain't a preference, I hope they hear me, cause I'll be here telling them I'm mad.
Greetings, my esteemed watchers, and welcome to another episode of Poison Points. Sitting in front of me today is 1010, I guess you could call him, redeeming first before anybody else. And welcome, everyone who is in chat right now. I appreciate you. Oh goodness, that is not what I wanted. Thank you all for stopping on by for such a momentous occasion. Yes, Frog has been spotted, and I'm here, ready to watch you, watch us, as we interview our first guest of the, non-VTuber guest of the evening. Welcome on in, everyone. Prediction is up, and I know that this one in particular relates to me more than it does to Crow himself, but there might be a chance that I slip and accidentally refer to Crow as a VTuber. So if you think that I will give in unintentionally, then by all means, gamble all of those points away. And soon, starting probably next stream, I'll be having a few new redeems along the way. One of which being, I'll just let you know now. One of them is a role for VIP that is considerably cheap. And the other is to become a VIP in general. Of course, if you're a mod, you can't be a VIP for some reason. But regardless, if you feel as though you are, a staple member of the channel and would like that diamond next to your name, then by all means, I'll have you there with me. Did I say roll for mod? I meant roll for VIP. No rolling for mod. That would be absolutely astronomical. By the way, anyone who is sitting in chat at the moment, we have a Discord server, if you hadn't already noticed. And in said Discord server, right, at this very moment in time, we have a bunch of, people watching as the show goes on. So if you would like to be a part of that, Mod Germa. There is the Discord link if you would like to join in on the fun and chat with everyone this evening, though I believe for this very moment in time, everyone in chat is also a member of that Discord. But regardless, yes, I will consider randomly modding Germa one day. What if I modded Germa and the next day everyone was banned? Could you imagine? It would have to be him, right? There'd be nobody else who's done something such as that before. Winning. It'd be a little bit silly. A little bit silly indeed. Oh, goodness. I guess that's going to be playing. I guess if you transition in studio mode and then close studio mode, it wants to delay the transition, which is pretty funny. Do you think Germa gets falsely attributed as the artist for emotes on Twitch? I could see it. I definitely could see that happening. It wouldn't surprise me if that were the case. No, chat, I'm not going to deplatform this. What is that, a frog? I'm not going to deplatform this frog, chat. I'm not. I did it. I banned everyone. You happy? See, with that, though, it would be like a cut. It would be a cut after he says, I'm not, and then he goes, I did it. I banned everyone. Hello, Mika. Welcome on in. By the way, for those of you who are also unaware, in our server, we are basically culling the herd, as it were. If you do not react to the new rules, by the end of the week, if your name is still white and unverified, I will be going through and removing and kicking all members who have not reacted to the rules. Just because I feel that we've gotten a bunch of people who are in there just as a reason to be there, because it's you add it to the list and then mute the stream or the Discord. So we're going to be working a little bit better on making events happen and the like. So hopefully this will encourage more people to stick around in terms of Discord. Yes, hello, Soul. And no worries, you are never late. Listen, I always ramble my mouth for the first 15 minutes of stream, so you have to understand. I'm never in a rush, never in a hurry. Cinnamon in the back is trying to open the door. Why have you decided now, Cinnamon, to decide to be annoying? You've been sleeping this entire time. Like, I don't know what the deal is with you. Yes, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, Soul. You know, I actually might have to kick this cat out of my room. It's a bit frustrating, but it's Simonim. She's doing her normal things, as it were. Give me one moment. I will return in just a second here. So devious. So devious. I forgot to hide the pronouns thing. Give me one moment here. As I fade away. My goodness. The scheming cinnamon. Cinnamon. I'm back. I will begin music playing in my ears, and I'll actually have to test something against my ears, because whenever I take my headphones off, there's a chance that they break. The scuff that we work with. We'll just play this again. Okay, I have full control, full range. How was everybody's weekend, by the way? I hope that everything went well. And I know that it is a Tuesday. It's the middle of the work week or school week for some people. You're finishing out the rest of your school year. How was your weekend? The scuff in our stars. Good? Well, as long as we get a good out of most people, that is all that matters at the end of the day, after all. I personally did a lot of reflection, and I've got a lot of good, large passion projects on the way. I can't wait to, fantastic, wonderful. I can't wait. And when I say passion projects, I mean bigger than Poison Points itself. Different from Poison Points. Potentially 6 months in the making, half a year. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. Of course, you know, gotta work on a few other things, important life financials. But after that is done, I'm excited to present new lore, as it were. But yes, I'm glad that everyone is doing okay today. And everyone who is currently hopped in the Discord, I appreciate that you are sitting around and enjoying the stream, all the same. Okay. Now, I've dawdled a little bit too long. I do apologize. I've had a little bit of energy brought my way, and I'm excited. Truly, I've been a little bit down in the dumps, as it were. So, hopefully, I can help myself feel ever so slightly better. All right.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Your work? You work now? Huh? You stopped working last stream, Headpad Hand. What the hell is wrong with you? I needed you. In the most critical of moments, we needed you, Headpad Hand. And you decided to let us down. And now you work. Well, I see how it is.
Yes.
Now y'all are making Headpad Hand work overtime. Which honestly, he definitely should have done his job less time, but he was just a line. A white line, in fact. Yeah, when the world needed him most, he vanished, but here he is. Working double time. I guess he took a little bit of a sick leave. Thank you for the posture check, Salty Boy. I will do just that. All right. Enough of this hand, this infernal hand. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our valued guest for this evening. This is CrowBirdCannon.
Hello,
on the monitor screen.
Yeah.
Yes, you are allowed, by the way, to look at chat now. And everyone say hello to Crow.
Oh, hey, there's me. Look at the little me.
Yeah,
Hello, everybody.
I have you stuck up on what looks to be like a hospital monitoring system.
I dig it. Not in the hospital, at least as far as I know, unless this is some drug-induced coma and you're actually a figment of my imagination, in which case I have a very vivid imagination. But it's fine.
We'll go with that.
Sorry.
Everyone in chat instantaneously. Your model is so good. How did you make your rig so well?
Yeah, I've got a very, very good VTuber mama. Is that the right terminology?
Yep, that's basically it.
Something like that. And yeah, let's duel this back there.
Yes. We tried to get a green screen to work, but unfortunately it was being a little finicky, and I figured, well, it might as well show off the prized collection that you have that you share normally on stream. So
yeah, that I spent more time working on before this than I did in actually setting it up.
It was quite adorable watching you turned around and fiddling with a bunch of things. So
like every time I looked at the camera, I'm like, oh, I see a spot. I can move this here. And then I would look and I'm like, oh, that's out of place. Let me move this there. Like ADHD things, you know?
Indeed. I feel you 100%. And this is why I can't do normal streaming. It quite literally would be impossible for me to turn on a webcam because I'd fiddle with everything all the time.
Yeah.
The framing would actually have to be perfect. Otherwise, I might never stream. Ever. At all.
Yeah, I am content, and I'm trying to avoid looking at it too much because I'm sure I'll find something else. Also, thank you, Nitrain. I appreciate that.
Yes. Everyone, this is CrowBirdCannon. He is well, I'd say that VTubers have claimed him. Yes, I stopped by quite a few of your streams and watched some of your VODs over, and almost everyone in chat that I recognized was a VTuber, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
I want to ask this question. I wanted to ask this a little bit later after the first question that I asked, the icebreaker, but how did you become so ingrained in the VTuber community? Like, what was it that set you in with us, I suppose, the us crowd?
So it's a little bit of happen circumstance, like friends meeting other friends, which connected me to new friends. But eventually I met a couple of VTubers, and then from there, one person in particular that I met, Nephistopheles, if anyone is familiar with him.
Yes.
He was very much, he was the equivalent of my gateway drug into VTuber crowd. So, yeah, he is the one to blame for me meeting so many VTubers, which, I mean, it's fine. Everybody's been great to me.
And blame we shall,
nice
because, I mean, it is wonderful that we get to have you here today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. Now, I always ask a question from the last interviewee to start us off. This one comes from Tank Bearclaw on the last episode of Poison Points. And he asks, outside of everything else that you're doing, if you had all of the time in the world, what is one skill or trait that you would like to develop the most?
Honestly, probably my editing skills. So, prior to being a Twitch streamer, I was a YouTuber for a couple years. I've been doing content creation in some form or another, whether it's YouTube, voice acting, Twitch, whatever, for just over 10 years. And over the years of doing YouTube, I developed a skill for and a love for editing video footage. But I know there's so much farther that I can go. You look at guys like Tomska, who can just make insane, real-life looking videos. I have no clue how he does that. So, if I had the time to learn, I would refine that skill, because I feel like I can put on some really good shows, make some cool, fun skits, and just make things that are more entertaining.
Mm-hmm. I 100% feel you. I used to do YouTube for about 4 to 5 years prior to this, and I put my heart and soul into the editing part. Editing is hard. Everyone makes it look very easy, and even when you watch TikToks, it's like, wow, I could do that. But there's a lot that goes in, a lot of tiny details that makes those videos stand out, as opposed to like a sloppily put together thing. So I 100% feel you on that one.
I think it's also a matter of it's so time consuming, especially like the more little things you want to put into it. Like when I hyperfixate on a video, like I know what I want to do, I want to make this thing. I can spend literal hours. Like I made a TikTok out of one of my clips like 2 weeks ago or something. I think I spent like 5 hours working on it, 4 hours, something like that.
You're just like me, for real.
For like a 25-second clip, so.
Yes.
But it was fun. I had fun.
Everyone gives me flack for how long I take in terms of editing a short. So I'm glad that it is. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Finally.
Yes. There's a joy to be had. And Ninja's right. Like, it's the most satisfying thing is when you see the final project. Like, when you see all the work to come together and it turns out to be at least mostly what you had hoped it would be.
Mm-hmm. And I've even found it's all the more rewarding when you had no idea how to achieve the final product. And you're doing all of this research and you're playing with a few things, tweaking a few things, and then all of a sudden you reach that point in the process where it clicked.
Mm-hmm.
You render it and you feel that like dopamine rush to the brain. It is wonderful.
It makes it all worthwhile.
Chance is pointing out your alt art blue eyes on the dual disc.
Yes, indeed. I'm really sad about it. So the 3 blue eyes that are up there, I have 2 original blue eyes, like the first style art. And then the one in the middle is the alt style from the Gold Legacy pack. So it's got the gold frame and everything. But I want a 3rd original blue eyes. I own something like 8 or 9 blue eyes. None of them, besides those 2 on the dual disc, are the original art style. So I still don't have a complete set. But
somebody in chat.
For eagle-eyed viewers, there are 11 visible Yu-Gi-Oh cards in my background. So
let's see.
You can pick out what they are.
So I did shrink your webcam ever so slightly. Is it still within the confines?
Well,
are all of them in there?
No, I did notice that. So that drops us down to 8 because there are 3 cards that are off screen.
Perfect. See, if anybody in chat knows where to find or hook up Crow with that last blue eyes, do so,
I
please.
get it on like eBay or Amazon or something. I'm poor.
Fair. How much do those run?
That's a good question. I'm curious. There is a gold version of a gold metal blue eyes in the original style. I have that on Throne, but that's like $20 or something, I think.
Yes.
The original blue eyes. Not that one. That one's $1,700.
Goodness gracious.
$5 on Mercari. $220, $400. Looks like 64 is the cheapest.
Well,
so, yeah.
Listen, I'm sure somebody in chat can fork up a paycheck. It'll be fine.
It's fine. I'll get a blue eyes eventually. I'm not pressed on it. Dark Side of Dimensions promos. I never got any of those. I didn't get to see the Dark Side of Dimensions movies, so I didn't get any of those. I did get to go watch Pyramid of Light in theaters, and I was really sad because the 2 cards that I wanted, the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon and the Dark Chaos Magician or whatever it was, I didn't get either one. I got the Pyramid of Light and one of the Sphinx cards.
See, I don't know too much about Yu-Gi-Oh! I've only been roughly initiated with Master Duel, so I just know the cute anime cards that I got, and that's about it. That's all I got.
That is fair. My 2 loves, Zelda and Yu-Gi-Oh! That pretty much boils me down.
Chance is also pointing out
If
is if there's a red Nova dragon behind you.
Not a red Nova Dragon. The card, I'm assuming you're talking about this card here. Well, maybe not. So these two cards, this one here is Stardust Dragon Assault Mode, just because I couldn't find my Stardust Dragon, it's somewhere downstairs. And this one is the Winged Dragon of Ra. But I do have a red Nova Dragon somewhere.
So, somewhere in your collection.
Yes, I have literally thousands of cards.
I was just about to
scattered
ask.
about. So many cards. I've got probably a couple hundred cards just in this room.
Mm-hmm. Do you play Yu-Gi-Oh professionally? Go to tournaments, locals?
No,
Not at all.
no. I've gone to 3 tournaments. I won 1 duel.
I take it you maybe similar experience to what a Magic player feels. You lose to a deck that's more expensive than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for most of my life, like, all my cards have either been mishmash, random, pieced together cards that I got from booster packs, or cards that were given to me by friends and family. So I have the makings of 3 different decks. Like, I'm working on a Blackwing deck, a Blue Eyes deck, and a Stardust deck. None of them are complete.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just kind of amalgamation decks.
Yeah, they got half the pieces that you want, and the other half is what you had to throw in. I see.
Yeah. Gotta fill the gaps.
Yeah. See, as opposed to Magic, I feel as though with Yu-Gi-Oh, you're able to go to a tournament more efficiently and not have to spend nearly as much money on a deck. I'm not 100% sure. I saw that Trap Tricks was pretty competitive for their starter pack, their main deck that you just get, which is great. Because with Magic, if you don't spend like $3,000 on a deck, then you can't really even go to tournament at all.
Yeah, before my current job, my last job, I was a manager for GameStop, and people drop some insane money on Magic cards.
Yeah.
But also, like, we sold some very expensive boxes.
Yeah, they
load my mind.
They used to be like $100 for like the huge competitive boosters. Well, competitive, but
yeah,
they're bigger boosters.
We had one that was like $120 that I had to keep like under lock and key.
Yeah, and nowadays some of them go for $200-$300, which is wild. That is insane, especially when you consider the fact that some of their foil cards are bent. And it makes me angry because it shouldn't be that way, but it is.
I mean, sometimes it gives a character. Like, this card, for example, has a bent corner that is missing cardstock on the back side. Still means a lot to me because this was the first Blue Eyes I ever got as a birthday gift from my dad.
I see. Very sentimental then.
Yeah.
It's like a real life gotcha. True.
Pretty much. That is pretty much it.
The most
gotcha combined with pay to win.
Yeah, the most efficient way to play any card game nowadays is to purchase cards directly. It is the cheapest and most efficient way. Although there is something to be said about pulling like the card that you wanted from that box or the sleeve, and it makes you feel so good when you finally get it. It's just the nature of the beast with Magic the Gathering is it has become the complete opposite. There is no fun anymore in pulling cards from any packs at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yep.
Probably just because of the cost.
100%, yes. And some of the older cards, at least in the format that I play, you can't get them anymore through a pack. You have to either wait for them to be reprinted, which they probably won't, or you buy them online for $1,000, which I've never done. Let it be said, I will never ever spend $1,000 on a single card ever.
Most that I've spent on a card.
The most that I've spent on a card, it was $60.
I want to say I spent $50 on my Stardust Dragon.
Ooh.
Something like that. I don't know. It was more than I really wanted to pay, but it's my favorite card, so I made an exception.
Yes. See, with Magic, the format that I play is singleton, so you can only have one of each named card unless otherwise specified, which is great on the wallet. I can imagine with Yu-Gi-Oh! If you wanted 3 of those cards, that's $150.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, the Stardust Dragon that I bought was secret rare, I think it was. One of the higher rarities. I could buy just some standard run-of-the-mill Stardust Dragons for probably like $5. But
okay, fair enough.
My card was pretty.
I have been looking into purchasing the Dragon Maid booster deck and adding a bunch of cards in. I've heard that it is quite efficient, except for I believe Chamber Dragon Maid is the most expensive out of all of the Dragon Maids because she's basically the best.
Yeah.
So that has been hampering me from purchasing the deck itself, but definitely going to be my first deck that I ever purchase as far as Yu-Gi-Oh goes. So
nice. Well, enjoy and good luck.
I paid like $20 for a single Pokemon card, but it came with a toy. That was what I was after.
That's fair.
It is the simple things in life. Yeah, basically, you did pay for the toy and got a free card.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way to look at it.
All right, so Crow, I need to know.
Yes.
Why did you become a streamer? How did you get here from where you were?
Well, if you want to get really technical, I ended up here just because one of my friends was doing it. I was like, sure, why not? I can do that. If you want the more nuanced answer, I was very in and out with YouTube. I would be very active for a while, and then I'd drop off for a few months, and then active again, and then I dropped off for like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that, give or take. And when I felt the desire to start doing creative stuff again, because I had the motivation, desire to do so, YouTube didn't exactly look like a very friendly place for small channels.
Yeah.
And I had my channel still existed, but I was willing to bet that none of my viewer base was still there because it had been so long. And so I struggled for a while on whether or not I wanted to rebrand, start over, make a whole new channel and start from scratch, or try to continue the CrowBirdCannon brand. And eventually my buddy Voice of Perseus, he streamed for a little under a year longer than me. I had joined him on a couple of streams, and we were just talking. He was like, "You seem to have fun with Twitch. Why don't you just give Twitch a shot, and then you can put the VODs on YouTube?" I'm like, "I'm in."
You got
now
me.
Here I am. Yeah, I'm sold.
So how long have you been streaming?
I have been streaming for 2 years and 2 months.
Well,
Just over 2
happy
years.
recent anniversary. I believe. Was it when I was going to interview you? Was that the anniversary basically that you were celebrating around that time?
Yeah, it was around that time that I was celebrating. And to be fair, that was a late anniversry. Technically,
Yes.
my anniversary is in March, but
well, happy second year.
Thank you. How long have you been streaming?
I have been streaming basically on this channel for about a year and 4 or 5 months. 4 or 5 months, I can't remember. It's one of the two. And I have actually been creating content since I was 18, 19 years old. I'm 25 now, so it's been a long time coming.
I was 17 when I started. I am 27. Oh wait, I should have asked people to guess what my age is. Almost nobody can ever guess how old I am. I think I've had maybe 3 people guess it right.
All right, everyone, your minds have been wiped. How old is Crow?
How old would you have guessed that I am if you did not know?
If I had to guess, I would have said, oh my God, Chance. I would have said like 23, 24, around that. Yeah, PK.
23 is actually one that I got today.
Yes.
I asked somebody, like, how old do you think I am? And they're like, you're 23. I'm like, close, but not close. It was actually a kid that I psyched out at one of my stores. I told him, like, how old do you think I am? And he was originally going to lowball it, and then he psyched himself out. So he's like, 40. I'm like, what?
I love when people do that. It's so funny. Yeah.
You age faster. Yeah. If you're a manager, you age faster.
100%.
Though I'd like to think that I age rather well, considering people think that I'm still in my 20s.
Oh,
Most
100%.
people seem to think I'm still in college.
Yes. I have this running theory that from like the age of 20 to 30, you are in this time-space continuum where no changes happen to you. And then 30 hits, and then it's like, oh God.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry.
30's coming. I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20.
I say it in jest because it could happen to me too, very much.
I like to joke with my friends and my employees, like I'm a senile old man. I'm, old and ancient and over the hill, basically retired. But, oh man, don't make me think that I'm almost there.
It is a running joke in my circle that I have the brain of a boomer. I have such an old-fashioned way of tackling things, and it's quite funny. Well, perfect. You've been at this for 10 years. How have you liked it? I know that you've been off and on with the content creation on YouTube, but how have you liked it overall? Has it been good for your
It's fun.
your health, your creativity?
So, yes and no. It's very fun. Don't get me wrong. I love content creation. Like it is my passion. It is one of my two favorite things to do. Content creation and tech stuff, building, repairing, doing whatever. When I make stuff that I'm proud of, it is one of the best feelings in the world. Like when I have a really good stream, or when I get to meet some really cool people, or when I make a really fun, interesting, successful video, or whatever would have you. Like that is one of the best, most rewarding feelings in the world. But on the flip side, it has also contributed to being one of the heaviest things weighing on my mental health over the last couple of years. Like dealing with imposter syndrome is a huge thing. Feeling like what I made wasn't good enough, or that as soon as I finish something, I could have done this thing better. Like always being my own worst critic. There is that feeling that enough is never good enough. And that fear that all it will take is one disappointment to fade away into obscurity.
100%.
Because everybody, at least in some capacity in the back of their mind, hopes or wants, or at least desires for this to go somewhere. To be something somewhat successful or get in front of more people. But there is always that fear that the flip will happen and all of it will feel for naught. So that has always been the cause of all of my breaks. Like between December and March, or December last year and March of this year, I took a hiatus from streaming. Originally was supposed to be a few weeks. That one thing led to another, turned into a few months because I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Like the idea of streaming and that fear of not being the streamer that I want to be, that I feel like I need to be, kept me away from doing anything. But I have around March, I decided forget this. I just need to do it. And things will be okay. And then about 2 months ago, I finally, for the first time in my 27 years of living, finally got into therapy and got with my doctor to get on antidepressants and ADHD medication, which has made an absolute world of difference. And everything feels different, not just from content creation, but just life in general. But I feel like I can do more now, and I feel like I have more drive and desire to make and create and do things. And I feel confident that I can actually make good things because I know what I am capable of. It's just a matter of getting the time to do so.
I 100% agree with you. And thank you for sharing that because for a lot of people, especially content creators, that's like something that we don't like to talk about a lot. You want to always share your best and always be on top of your game, but we're human too. When we go through similar struggles, we have everything that a normal person we're artists, right? We create art. So we are our own worst critics. The other day I was thinking to myself, I did a bunch of stuff for my own side of things. I was happy. And then I started playing a game to unwind. And at the end of it, I was kicking myself because I was like, oh, I could have done more. And that's not a fair mentality. I already did everything that I could have done that day and I needed a break. So, a big inspiration. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I had a thought and then immediately was like, no, I don't have a thought anymore.
All right, so following off on that question, you have a normal evening in front of you. You have no work. You don't have any plans to stream. What are you doing that evening?
It depends on the mood that I am in and what I have in front of me that needs to be done. If there is something that absolutely has to be done, because ADHD, we're bad with deadlines. ADHD folks are bad at doing things ahead of time, and you
100%
put stuff off until it's like, oh god, I need to do this right now. But also that works as a superpower because I am the procrastination king. I can fucking move mountains. I can do 5 people's worth of work in one night when it has to be done that night. But also, if it's just like, I need to do this thing, there's no deadline, but I know it needs to be done. Like in the case of I'm moving in a month. So I have a lot of things that I need to pack and shit that I got to do. So a couple of nights ago, I had no stream, had no plans, no obligations. I turned on a soundtrack. There is an ADHD friendly soundtrack that I recently found. I don't remember what it's called because I just searched ADHD music.
Yes, please send it to me because I might not be diagnosed by a doctor, but I feel that I have at least something as far as the attention disorders. So I would definitely love to see that.
I've sent it to you. For anybody who's listening and wants to listen to it, the producer is called Green Red Productions. My particular one that my brain latches onto is it's got a red thumbnail. ADHD relief music. Turning that on, dropping the volume low, and just letting that be essentially a backdrop to my thoughts, I can just go. I can just keep working until I either run out of time and it's like, all right, I need to be a human and eat food and go to bed, or I just completely run out of gas, one of the two. But as a little side note, highly recommend if you have, a primary care doctor, having a chat with them about ADHD. Like, one of the things that I learned, not just talking with my therapist and my doctor, but also in my journey to try and understand ADHD better, I have learned how both helpful and destructive it can really be. ADHD left unchecked can be a massive problem.
Yeah.
But if you can get some proper help and support for it, and gain a little bit more, I don't want to quite say control, because I don't think we ever really have full control, but a better way to harness it, it can be a very, very powerful tool. There is a YouTube channel called How to ADHD? Yes, How to ADHD, that I have been watching that has a whole bunch of different videos that has helped me understand things, put things together, like, this is why I am the way that I am, things like that. So good resources.
A set of self-meditation, basically, a self-reflection. The more you understand yourself, the more efficiently you can put yourself towards the tasks that mean a lot to you. Well, I certainly didn't know these things, so I will be putting all of these resources to good use, hopefully, as long as I don't procrastinate.
Right. This is all very like recent revelations to me. So I'm learning as I go. I'm still in this self-discovery journey, if you will. And if I'm not trying to be productive, games. I'll just join a Discord where my friends are, and we'll play whatever game is the game of the night, be it Overwatch or something else.
Perfect. I was going to say that another thing that really does help is a strong support group of friends, people who are like-minded to you in terms of the things that you like to do. Anyone that can kind of spur you forward just a little bit, the little bit extra, the push and drive to accomplish tasks is monumentally helpful.
Accountability buddies.
Yeah. I like that term.
Yeah, it's not my term. I can't take credit for that.
I'm gonna steal it anyways, and I'll credit you.
Works for me.
If this wasn't a serious topic, I would say drugs. Okay, well,
I mean, if you want to get technical, drugs, the ADHD medication. Whenever my alarm goes off in the morning to remind me to take my medication, every single day since I got it, it has literally just been, it's drug time.
It's drug time.
I don't know why. That's just become a ritual for me. When the alarm goes off, I have to say that. And, I take the meds.
See, the cool thing is, if you have a ritual, it starts to become more automatic for you. So at some point, it's no longer about remembering. It's just, okay, it's time. It's time for me to do this. So,
yes.
Yeah, the big A drug, I believe. Not that everyone takes it, but it's the one that everyone thinks about, because it's also the college performance enhancing drug.
How many alarms do you have in the morning? Oh boy.
Oh, yes.
Depends on when I need to wake up, but I have
Jesus Christ.
So many. It is separated in 7 to 8 minute intervals. So if I need to be up by 8 o'clock, I'll have it 7, 7:07, 7:15, 7:22, 7:30, so on and so forth. I usually get up at 8 or maybe 8:06. I'll set a couple of post wake up time contingency alarms just in case either I don't wake up fast enough or my fat cat decides that she wants to sleep on my phone.
Oh,
because she's done that a couple of times, and she muffles the alarm.
I have, I believe, 5 at my maximum. I run with 3, but the other 2 are the just in case I don't wake up, and if I wake up now, I have to rush out the door, but I won't be late at the bare minimum.
Now, I will say, the number of alarms that I actually activate depends on how pressing of a need it is for me to wake up. If it's my day off, I'll probably only set 3 or 4 alarms. If I oversleep, whatever. Normal day at work, I'll set an hour's worth of alarms. But if I have to be up extra early and I know I'm not going to get as much sleep, I'll double or even sometimes triple the alarms.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why I have so many on there, because there's a lot of times where I have to be at work early because I'm the manager, so I'm expected to bail things out when things go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got to go in early, I got to set more alarms to make sure that I actually get up.
It's sad, but necessary. It's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another question. when you open up your browser, whether it be on your PC or on your phone, how many tabs do you leave open?
For my phone, no more than 3, though usually it is 1 or 2. I'm pretty good about my phone being, low on tabs. Like right now I have 2 tabs. One for Google and one for I'm rewatching through the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime right now, so I have that up on another tab. Browser is a very different, or computer is a very different story. Not only do I have multiple tabs, like right now I have 5 tabs open. I have 2 different windows. I'm bad about separating them into windows and then opening tabs on different windows, and on occasion having the same tab open. Especially Twitter. I'm really bad about having Twitter open on multiple tabs because I forgot that I had it open on a different tab.
Yeah, it happens to me too.
Discord or something.
I am very similar. I try to keep 3 to 5 tabs on my phone because I'm a researcher, so I like to hop in between. On PC, however, I can end up having 3 to 4 streams open and a Discord stream and a YouTube video that I'm watching all at the same time, sound on, and I'm in a Discord call on top of that. I'm a monster. I don't know how I'm able to do it.
That's ADHD for you. Like, your brain can process 5, 6, 7 things all at the same time while also retaining absolutely none of it.
Yep.
It's magic, and it is my favorite description of what it's like having ADHD. This comes from the YouTube How to ADHD. It is like having a Ferrari engine with bicycle brakes.
That is a great way of putting it, actually. And not the first time a car example has been used on this channel, by the way, in regards to the the depiction of it. That's great. I love it.
Really?
Yes.
What was the other one?
The other one, I interviewed a VTuber named Smoking Bandit, and he has schizophrenia. And he described schizophrenia to me as he has 3 people in a car. He could either be the driver, the passenger, or the person in the back seat that is unaware of what's happening in the front seat. And I think that is a great way of describing it in general. A lot of people were able to understand right away. So yeah, it is a great analogy. The car analogy for in regards to the mental health is kind of good, actually. It works.
It's a good way to simplify it, but also give you a visualizer.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, the way that I've done some self-reflection lately, assuming that I have ADHD potentially, I obviously want to go get it checked out. That I can do a bunch of things. I can do so much at the same time, but because of that, all of progress halts. And it's slowly moving forward inch by inch as I tackle each task one step at a time, instead of one step, or one task all steps at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my employees, his husband has ADHD. So as a way to describe it to him, it's I have task A. And then I remember I've got task B, so I'll start working on that. And then, I see task D needs to be done, so I'll go do that. And then I'll remember that's right, I was working on task A, let me go do this. And then on my way back to task A, I'm like, oh, there's task E, let me start that.
Yep, 100%.
And eventually, once we get down to task M, task A will finally be done.
Mm-hmm. Cars are like bodies because people are like brains. Buffy, you are such a goob.
Love it.
All right. We did get off track because the rabbit trail of information. In regards to your perfect evening, if there was a streamer that you could watch while you're working on this, or a content creator of any capacity, who do you put on?
Oh, that's
yes. Almost perfectly placed, actually.
Depends. Really depends on the mood. As far as streamers go, Novastorm is one of my favorite like stream groups to watch. I absolutely love them. Like beyond just being friends with them, I am a big fan of them. And I got to do an Overwatch collab with them for the first time on Saturday. And to say that I was nervous because I think so highly of them would be an understatement. But it's so much fun. It's Ian Watson is another comfort streamer of mine. He's a wonderful person, always very positive. Like you can never not smile in his streams. During my days when I would be in an especially dark place, like when the depression was really taking hold, I would pull up Ian's streams and just be like, Ian, I need a smile. And he would brighten things up. And he just hit partner about a month ago.
Yes. You love to hear it. Yeah, I definitely feel you on the anxiety when it comes to, well, having people sit where you're sitting now. I have my master list, as it were, of people that are on the show and people that I need to ask to be on the show. And it's the people that I want to ask that terrify me. I'm so scared that if I hop into their DMs, it'll be a block instead of a conversation.
So, obviously, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I want to know, who do you want on the most out of that list? And or who are you the most terrified of asking out of that list?
I have multiple answers because I have like multiple tiers, right? My like the one that I shoot for the stars for answer that probably won't happen. I've accepted realistically is Germa. I think it would be awesome to have Germa on the show. But
most VTuber interviewers, when I asked, is usually Takahata 101.
Yes,
Taka is like revered.
I'm actually. It would be kind of cool to have him on the show, but because I haven't had the opportunity to like really watch a lot of his streams, I don't feel as that much pressure. If I had to pick a VTuber though, Iron Mouse, I would like to have on the stream. She is a great personality, and honestly, this is just my personal opinion. Probably one of the most genius VTubers. Not necessarily in regards to like scholarly intelligence, just in regards to how content creation works.
Right.
Which that would be my absolutely terrified. I hop into her DMs to ask if she could be on the show.
That is fair.
Thank you, Buffy, for and PK. We're gonna get German poison points.
Someday.
That would be insane.
Someday.
Yeah, one of these days. Yeah, the person that I'm looking at right now, though, like keeping it more realistic, is Crimbo. I would love to have Crimbo on the show. If you're unfamiliar, Crimbo is the villain VTuber. But the villain in the sense that he's incredibly kind and just a genuine, like, you hop into his streams, you feel welcomed type person. And those are the people that I want to sit across from me. Yeah.
He's the Dr. Doofenshmirtz of VTubers.
Yeah, I'll show you his Twitter page really fast.
The kind, well-meaning VTuber villain who thinks that he's a villain, tries to be a villain, but is just a good guy in disguise.
100%.
And a good dad.
Yeah, exactly.
He's dead or not, but Doofenshmirtz was dead.
Yeah, I do a lot of research on people, It comes with the nature. I like to.
Yeah.
I don't like calling it stalking, but it is in a way cyber stalking. I learn a lot about them. Don't tell
It's
anybody
intel
that.
gathering.
Yeah, intel gathering. And I found that the people I want on the show are like the more genuine people. That applies even to normal streamers that aren't VTubers. You can tell when people fake it. So easy. It's so easy to tell when there is an act being put forward and not your genuine reaction. Because you can be your genuine self and act. It's entirely possible to mix the two in. It's the fake it that I don't want on the show.
Understandable.
Mm.
So, are there other like traditional streamers, facecam streamers, on that list?
Yes, there is one that I would like to ask. I don't know if you've heard of actor Pat.
Yes, Pat.
Yes.
Oh, I love Pat.
I would love to have
known Pat. So Pat was actually one of the original people that I met when, that story about ranching paths and meeting people. Voice of Perseus introduced me to one of our mutual friends, Tiny Lol, and then Tiny introduced me to Pat.
Mhm.
And then through Pat, I met some other fantastic people. Pat's great.
It was through Space Buffoon that I met actor Pat, actually. So, well, met with a raid, and then I now want him on the show.
I guarantee he'd be happy to. Well, as long as it fits the schedule. I know his schedule can be very wonky because, he's an actor, so things can change at the drop of the hat. But Pat's a great guy.
After this, I will be DMing him and see what we could work out.
Do it.
Yeah, you are actually, I guess that is a little bit of a spoiler. You are actually the only person, and one of the first. You were the third person to sign up for the show. Actually, hold on. You know what? Let me fact check this. But you are the only person on this list that is a non-VTuber, which I was very excited about. I was like, oh my goodness, yes. I'm glad I get to have Crow on the show.
We could try a thing. Wait, was I on the list before I applied?
Actually, yes. You were my first ever application that wasn't a friend that I had leaked applications to previously.
Huh.
So there you go.
Making all kinds of history.
Yes. And well, I know it's not necessarily that VTubers and non-VTubers have done things like this before. But I like to think that this interview type thing is rare. You don't get a lot of VTubers talking to interrogating, I suppose, and asking questions. You always see it the opposite. You always see the flesh tuber, as we like to call them, asking the VTuber questions instead. So, very, very cool. This is a great experience overall.
I remember when the first time I heard the term flesh tuber was from my friend Zabel, and it's so funny. I think I laughed for 5 minutes straight. I love it.
I love people that can roll with
glad
it.
that I can be a part of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. I think it's hilarious.
You are the best, the most fitting model of a VTuber, basically.
I am one of my viewers, because everyone in my chat knows that VTubers love to call me FleshTuber. One of my viewers has taken it a step further and decided to call me a meat potato. Because flesh, meat, tuber, potato. Meat potato. And I don't know how to feel about it, but I'm not gonna tell them no.
That is most certainly.
It was sound math. It was sound logic. I can't argue with the logic. So 1 + 1 does indeed equal 2.
Yeah, we need to.
That.
revolutionize this new terminology. I for one am in favor of meat potato as a new term instead of just a flesh tuber.
Be my guest.
Okay, I actually did skip this question by mistake. So I apologize. I'm going to be taking us back just a little bit. It got me thinking. Where did you come up with your name, your username? Where did CrowBirdCannon come from?
So the main part of it, Crow, has been my nickname since sometime in middle school. I don't remember. The reason is a combination of I've always loved birds, crows especially. Like they're very fascinating, very intelligent creatures, very funny, so much personality. I love them dearly. And because of my love of Yu-Gi-Oh! And moreover, the cards that I use are Blackwings. My primary deck is a Blackwing deck, and the user of that in the show is named Crow Hogan. So I was dubbed Crow as one of my nicknames, and I loved it, so it stuck. So when I created a YouTube name, like it's got to be something Crow related. The canon part is kind of an homage to my dad because he served in the armed forces. That's really about the extent of it. And then the bird part was literally just to fill it out because I started YouTube in 2013, around the time when you had a lot of YouTubers with 3-part names. You know, Sky Does Minecraft, Jacksepticeye. You know, a lot of 3-part names. Like, my name's gotta have 3 parts. Bird. Call it a day.
Boom. Voila.
And then, like I said, when I transitioned from YouTube to Twitch, I kind of went through an identity crisis. Like, do I want to change my name? What would I change it to? Gotta have something with Crow. What would it be? And then Perseus was eventually just like, dude, just keep CrowBirdCannon. I can't see you being anything else. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Works for me. You convinced me. Again.
At the end of the day, you know, like, you will always get your nicknames. It will always end up being, you know, Crow or whatever you like to be called. I have a tendency, however, to read people's full names out until I get to know them a bit more. Obviously, Space Buffoon, I refer to as Buffy. I used to refer to Space Buffoon as Space Buffoon all the time. And it was like I was a mother calling you out for your bad deeds, like Space Buffoon.
Almost nobody ever calls me CrowBirdCannon unless it's like they have no clue who I am and they're being very formal. 90% of people will call me Crow. Occasionally people will call me Bird if they're like trying to get my attention because they're not paying attention or they're yelling at me. And then there's like a small 1% of people that will call me Cannon, but that's like 5 people.
You can definitely tell how people read. Not that they're it's a bad thing. You can tell what parts of sentences and names stick out to people the most, and that's the fascinating part that I love. A lot of people will call me Pyson because they haven't seen me on Twitter before or something like that. Which, by the way, I'm still trying to get Irisu as a name. I'm very angry that the Twitch deletion system isn't working. Either that or the person who has my name is active randomly at one point in the year.
I feel so bad about that because my buddy, Mr. Snakesbox, he has to have his Twitch name as Snakesbox _ because Snakesbox is a name that is taken by an account that is completely dead and inactive, but is from the way back in the days when Twitch was known as Justin.tv.
Oh my goodness.
Before it was Twitch. Yeah, it's an ancient account, but there's no way to get a hold of them, so he's just shit out of luck.
Twitch is supposed to have a year system. It's supposed to be if you're inactive for a year and somebody tries to take your name, your account is deleted. That's just the way it is. or at the very least, your name is changed, and that the new user gets to take it. I have tried like on a monthly basis. Every single month, I'll go in to check it. Nope, it won't work.
I'll tell them to give it another shot. I'm assuming that the user probably uses it as just like a viewing account, but I don't know when was the last time that he tried. So
yeah, yes,
maybe he'll get away with it.
Thank you for the hydrate, PK.
Hydrate.
You get to see my model break every time I go to hydrate.
I'm almost out of water. Because we're talking so much, I've been just fucking chugging this thing.
And thank you for the stretch, PK.
I probably should have asked before stream. You're cool with me cursing on this, right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. Love me some F-bombs, but I always want to double check. There was one streamer that I did a collab with. I don't remember exactly what their name was, but they were like, I'd prefer if you tone it down a little bit. Like, I can do that.
Yeah, I
can put a lid on it.
When I'm putting on this facade as the character that I am, I tend not to, because I think about all of the words that come out of my mouth. And when I'm thinking about it, I don't swear as much, because in normal conversation, I swear as a filler.
Yeah.
But it is totally fine with me. You don't have to worry about it at all.
Me as well. Wait. I just I just saw the it's raining, and I just, absentmindedly turned to look out my window. Like, is it raining for me? And no, it's not. Okay. I'm just seeing things.
All right. How likely are you to finish a game that you've started? I ask this because when I inspected your channel, you have quite the list of games that you've completed on stream. And my the real point of the question I want to ask is, do you leave it to be finished on stream? Or do you also value the private time that you have off stream to play the games that you love?
So, it depends on the game. Some games, like Elden Ring, for example, streaming it was fun, but I think I'm done streaming it, at least more or less. Like, I was never going to save it exclusively for Twitch. I played a lot off screen. I'll probably finish the game off screen. There are games that I save exclusively for Twitch, like Breath of the Wild, that took me a year and a half to get through because I was doing a 3-heart run, 100% completion playthrough, but I only did that on stream, minus some Korok seed collecting because nobody wants to sit and watch me collect 900 Korok seeds. Fuckers are everywhere. And then there are some games that I just don't stream, either because I don't think that it would be good as far as viewer poll or retention or whatever would have you. It doesn't support the metrics. Like shooter games, I love Overwatch. I love Rogue Company. I'm passable at Modern Warfare. Shooter games do jack shit for me on Twitch, so I just don't stream them. Alternatively, Civ 6, I dropped 320 hours into that game from August to December. Didn't stream it once, but that was my total obsession. But as far as do I finish games, if you look at my list, which I just realized needs to be updated because I don't have Breath of the Wild on there, my completed games list goes, July 2022, July 2022, July 2022, April 2023. Almost a year span in between. And that is a combination of me choosing games that I just take a while to get through because I'm very notoriously slow at getting through games, and then also slow actually getting to games. Hollow Knight, I started end of last year. Somehow avoided all spoilers for the game. It was a total blind playthrough, but I had just never played Hollow Knight until last year. But some games I just don't finish, either because I forget about them or because I get too preoccupied with other things. or I just don't care and I don't want to finish them.
Fair, 100%.
I got a couple of games like that, so that is what it is.
Yeah, for me, it's a fixation thing. If I am in love with something and will play it, if something else comes up, boom, it's gone. I don't care about that other thing anymore. I'm done. I won't even complete it.
Yeah. It's very much a hyperfixation thing. Like, if something can capture my fixation strong enough, like Breath of the Wild or like Civ 6 or Tears of the Kingdom when that comes out on Friday. Just so fucking excited, by the way.
Yes.
That is all I will play. Like, XCOM 2 is my second most played game on Steam. I have just under 400 hours in that game. Not only have I beaten it, I have 100%ed it.
Oh,
I have beaten it on every difficulty. I beat it on Legendary Iron Man mode. The only things that I have not done, I've not done the Long War mod, and I haven't finished my current stream playthrough, but I am streaming my way through it, partly because I want to share it with people, because it's one of my favorite games, and also partly because I want to get it up over GTA 5 to be my most played game, because fuck Rockstar. But yeah, like, if it's a game that I hyperfixate on, yeah, I'll finish it. Absolutely. If it's not something that I super dedicate to, the odds are pretty low I'm going to finish it. I probably have a sub 50% completion, like, finish rate on games.
Okay. but it is good to know that you, like, the games that you do love, you go all the way through, 100% them.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. I can see where you're at, and I can relate to you quite a bit. My most played game ever is Skyrim. I put well over 2,000 hours into that game across all of their games, except for the most recent one. Re-release, I should say, because now I'm sick of it. My second most played game is a Civ-like called Endless Legend. And I agree with you that I don't think that is a very good stream game, because you can sink hours and hours and hours into one turn and make no progress as far as a stream is concerned. So
yeah, absolutely. It's a very slow-going game. I think part of it also comes down to the fact that I grew up in a relatively rural town in western Colorado. My family did not have much. Like, I grew up not on the super wealthy side of things, so I had very few games, so I would constantly replay games. Like, I've probably got thousands of hours into Ocarina of Time, because it was one of the few games that I had. But that also means that just because it's sort of built into my system, I am more likely to go back and replay a game I've already beaten than I am to start a new game. Like, on my shelf behind me, I have Halo Infinite. I've played it once.
Yep.
That was when I streamed it, when it came out. I haven't touched it since. I haven't even turned on my Xbox Series X since that stream happened. Meanwhile, right next to it, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World Championship 2010, Reverse of Arcadia, I have beaten that game no less than 5 times. And I'm tempted to play it again.
Yeah, you get that itch when you start thinking about it. You're like, oh, like, I could play Ocarina of Time one more time. I got really good at it. Could play Mario 64 one more time. I've gotten really good at it.
It's a based game. I love it. I'm so glad that somebody else actually recognizes what the game is.
Yeah, we have.
I set that up before stream. Like, I love this, but no one's gonna know what the hell this game is.
We have a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh fans in my chat. I can't, like, I relate again because of Master Duel. That's about the extent of my relation, and like some of the anime that I watched as a kid. So I let them be nerds and talk about the things that they love, because I do the same thing.
I talk for hours about Yu-Gi-Oh! But more than that, if you don't mind me talking about a thing that I do on my channel.
Oh, no, of course.
I have a redeem where I go and I will make somebody a custom Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. Because I found a website that allows me to make custom cards. So for, I think it's set at 5,000 points right now, but you can give me your own picture or whatever, and I will make you your own card. That's not very well. Wrong side. Either way, it's
Almost,
not shown,
yes.
but you get the point.
Yeah,
you get the point. Like, I love it.
I had a redeem that I've kind of turned off for a little bit since I got burnt out. I did it for a like subathon type thing where I would turn people into magic cards, primarily VTubers that would stop on by. And actually, funny thing is, the way that I met you was you were rated into, again, I believe it was Nova Swarm. You were rated into while you were doing a subathon, and I believe it was every sub you did or you got, or like if someone gifted a sub, you would turn them into a magic card or a Yu-Gi-Oh card as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember that. And I'm doing that again.
Yes.
Because, so, this is something I was probably going to talk about at some point, even if you didn't ask, or what, I don't know if you're going to ask me. Anyway, Tears of the Kingdom. When it comes out, I'm doing a donathon. 11 days. Non-stop streams. Anybody that donates $5 or more, like every $5, I will make a Yu-Gi-Oh card for you. Up to a maximum of 5 cards, because I don't want to be making cards for the next 5 years.
Of course, yes. Let's see, we'll get the shout out going. You all better follow, because like being in Crow streams are a blast. I do not have the privilege of being there when you're live. You are always live when I'm at work or when I've gone to bed. It's one of the two.
That is fair. Well, hey, the donathon is literally just going to be like from the moment I wake up to when I go to bed. I'll be, on here streaming, so you'll get your opportunities.
Yes, very excited.
Say hello.
Yeah,
this is the Zabo that I was talking about earlier. Yeah. So Zay, I've done 5 or 6 streams dedicated to making Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I've done it several times.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
I need to revamp it because, like, whenever anyone redeems it, I'm doing something that I can't really step away from, and I don't want it to disrupt stream. So I wait for like 2 or 3 people to do it, and then I'll dedicate a whole stream to it. But it feels kind of bad for the person who redeemed and saved up their points and then waited that long, and then it takes me a month to get to it. So I gotta rework how that is.
Sometimes I will wait until after stream if, like you said, it is a stream where I either can't or don't want to pause what I'm doing to interrupt stream to go make a card. Like, I'll let them know, like, hey, I'll make this for you after stream, or I'll make this for you at the next opportunity that I get. Neff in particular, Neff Stopheles, who I mentioned before, that is like his life's mission. That is all that he spends his points on. He wants me to make an entire deck of Neff for him. So I have currently made, I want to say 22 cards.
Ooh.
For Neff. Like, we're slowly working our way through just making a deck of Mephistopheles cards.
I play Commander as a format in Magic, and the last time I did a stream where we were doing a donathon to help raise some money, I made I believe it was Lyra. I made Lyra as a card, and then I got the inspiration, which will eventually happen when I have the time to make it work, with a blend of cards that I create, as well as a blend of real Magic cards. I want to turn the Nova Swarm team into a Commander deck. I think that would be a lot of fun. It would definitely be game breaking because of the nature. The game mechanics dictate that you can't have more than 2 people or 2 cards be your commander, and they have to specifically say that they can be commander with each other or whatever. But it would be a lot of fun to tweak and like work around a deck archetype for them that would work.
I might do something like that for them.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I need to learn how to do it, I'll probably do that tomorrow or something. Here's a deep dive if anybody knows. There's an old school card game called Chaotic. And obviously I have the cards here. Neff is also a fan of Chaotic, and I happened to find while we were discussing the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, I happened to find a Chaotic card maker program.
Ooh.
So once I figure out how that works and understand the ins and outs of card design for the game, because it's very different from Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm going to add that as a redeem to make Chaotic cards as well.
Perfect.
And then maybe someday Pokemon. I don't know. I don't really care about the Pokemon cards, but people love it, so.
All of the card makers, every single one.
Yeah, that's my goal, is to slowly just expand, make any card. If you want a card, I'll make it. Solitaire, you name it.
All right. Well, we are at the hour and 30-minute mark. I would like to, as long as it's okay with you, if we could head to break.
Yes.
And refill our waters, get snacks, use the restroom, all that. We will be back in just a moment. And during that time, while we're sitting in break, which will be about 10 to 15 minutes, if anyone has any questions for Crow, get those prepared and ready. And yeah, we'll be right back.
See you guys in a bit.
All right, everyone, we are back.
Whoa,
If I could
I'm down here now.
find the. Hold on. Oh, there we go.
There I am. Hi.
You've shrunk a little bit since the break.
I did. It's fine. That's what happens. It'll make
I
sense in a
see.
moment.
It's a part of the lore. The the lore that you have.
It's a secret. It's a secret that shall be divulged to all shortly.
All right. Well, we have some opening questions from Space Bethune. Their first question is: do you already have, or would you like to make a mascot to become a marketable plushie?
So I do have a mascot. It is a crow who is named Cannon. That was Neff's idea. That was turned into an art piece by Emma Tiger. He has since gotten a couple of art pieces of his own, and even has his own reference sheet.
Hey.
I don't have a reference sheet, but Cannon does. I got a little Cannon statue. It's off screen. I will grab it in just a second. But aside from that, I have 3 other marketable mascots
Yes.
in the form of fuzzy, chunky kitties. And that's why I shrank, because I was holding her off screen. She's very heavy, so I can't hold her up forever. This is Crystal, aka my not-so-sentient marshmallow, because there's no thoughts behind those eyes.
Oh, baby.
AKA my chunk.
Yes.
She's a big baby.
Oh my goodness.
She sometimes smells like a chicken nugget. I don't know why. Just every once in a while, she'll smell like a McNugget. Couldn't. She's a little scruffy because I haven't given her spring brush, and also I was just making a mess of her fur.
Yeah, trying to hold her.
Yeah.
Is she your only cat?
More lovable and marketable than chunky kitties. Nope, I've got 3 kitties. I have
yes.
her. I have her twin sister Coco, who is an absolute diva and demands all of the attention in the world, and also has the nickname Drippy Cat because whenever I hold her, 100% of the time, she just drips water from her mouth. It's only when I hold her.
Huh.
I don't know why, and I don't know where the water comes from. There was a stream where I held her over my shoulder, and by the time I put her down, there was a large streak the size of a water bottle down my shoulder from her just dripping on me constantly.
Huh.
So Chat has dubbed her Drippy Cat. And then I have another kitty named Leon, who is not related to them in any way, but he is a orange rescue kitty who just showed up at my house one day and decided, "You are my dad now."
Welcome.
Yeah. Well, I found him. His mother had gotten run over a couple of days beforehand.
Mhm.
So he was a little worse for wear, needless to say. The vet said that he was lucky that I found him because he most likely would not have survived that winter. So I took him in and took care of him, and then I adopted these 2 that next spring, and they have been mine ever since. They're about 2.5 years old. They'll be turning 3 in September.
Wonderful. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Very adorable.
She's
Ah, my
fixated
goodness.
on something else.
Yes, as we can relate to cats in some way. Oh, those gorgeous
No
eyes.
thoughts.
I love
Yeah,
them.
they're so pretty and so empty. One of my favorite things about this cat in particular, whenever I, bring her in to hold her on camera or something, because I have a one of those points goal, community goal things
Mhm.
for Cat Can, where fill it up. I'll bring the cat of chat's choosing, and hold the kitty on camera until they decide that they're done. 100% of the time, when I set her down outside my office, she always looks away and then just looks back at me with a "Dad, why?" look, as if she doesn't know that it's happening, or doesn't understand that she wanted down. You wanted down, but then you look at me wondering, why did I put you down?
Yep, that's how they get you. I have a little kitty myself. Her name is Cinnamon.
Oh.
And if you, I typically call it out, but during interviews I don't say anything. But if you ever see me with my hands and they're going like this, it's because she's in my lap and I'm petting her. Almost every single time, without fail. If she's meowing and yelling at me to pick her up and wanting for attention, I'll pick her up, I'll give her love. Almost immediately she wants back down because she doesn't like being held for very long. You set her down, she comes back up and starts attacking my legs and then yelling at me again. Wants back up. So
Yeah.
I have a theory that Cinnamon likes to be thrown because she will jump on my desk where I proceed to throw her off of my desk. She will keep doing it over and over again. I don't abuse my cats, I assure you. Yes, the princess.
She's very happy. She's just vibing. She's happy to be here. She doesn't know what's going on, but she's involved and she's content with that. Leon is the other cat's name. I don't remember if I said it or not, but that's his name. Named after Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. We also call him my little toasted marshmallow because, like Crystal and her sister, he is mostly white cat, but brownish orange on the top. And when he was a baby, he looked like a little toasted marshmallow, so that is his nickname.
That is adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the hydrates over.
They have their own specific Instagram that I made just for cat pictures, and I'm pretty sure I put his baby picture on there. But it's Crow's Kitties, if anybody wants to see cats.
Wonderful. I know exactly one Instagram user in my life. That is PK. Sorry to call you out, PK.
I have more pictures on their Instagram than I have on my own Instagram.
It's just the way it happens.
That's just cats.
Does anybody else have any other questions for Crow? I almost called you CrowBirdCannon out of habit now.
A lot of people call me Crowbird as well, which I've just come to accept that, but whatever is comfortable for you.
CBC?
CBC's initials. That does work. Nobody's called me that one yet.
Yeah, I could see it working. Oh, you said a second question. I thought I read it, but I guess I didn't.
Yeah.
If you could start a new collection of something that you don't have yet, what would you make it?
So that was a really good question. I saw when you posted that. I was like, oh shit, what would I do? Because I was running through ideas could I collect this? No, I kind of already collect that. Well, maybe this. No, I've got a couple of those. I think if I had to start a new collection, it would either be a collection of books, just only because books on a bookshelf look really nice. I don't read much, so I would likely not get through them all, but it would be nice to have them. Or DVDs and Blu-rays, but they would have to be steelbooks, because I am an absolute whore for steelbooks. I love them so dearly, and I will pay more than I probably should for steelbooks.
I just think they look nice. Yeah, that is a very Crow thing to do.
Pretties and shinies.
Silver asks, when you hang out with your friends, do you refer to them as a murder? Or as your murder?
No. No. I refer to friends and viewers and pretty much anybody that I associate with as my flock. Only because I don't think Twitch would appreciate me referring to my viewers as my murder. So I'm just gonna put that one out of my lexicon. Now, unofficially, any of the other Crow-themed streamers, of which I know over a dozen, if we hang out, we are most definitely a murder. Mostly because some of us want to murder some of the other ones of us because, I don't know, that's just our dynamic. That's our friendship.
Okay. I was going to say, is there bad blood in the community of Crow-themed?
No. Absolutely not. Some of them just love to be a pain in the ass, especially Crow Corono. So there's times where I want to throw something at him. Love him to death, though.
Are you familiar... I hope her name isn't just Hell. Are you familiar with Hell? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's just her name. XX or X underscore hell underscore X. Yeah.
Yep. I have fallen in love with her. One because this is a bit of an embarrassing thing to admit, but I love Scottish accents. I am a sucker for Scottish accents. I love being insulted by them. And you pair that with the fact that she is also a crow, it just it works really well. The perfect blend.
The first time that I met Hell and streamed with her, it was me, her, Crow Corono, and I want to say Ergonomics. I don't remember exactly what his full stream name is. Just call him Ergo. The four of us streaming Uno, and it was so fun to watch Hell slowly descend into a desire to murder specifically Kuro. Because he's such a pain in the ass to everybody.
That's typically how
it was fantastic.
Games with me devolve into. Any competitive game, I am the target, because either by sheer luck or tryhardness, I typically am the one coming out on top, and I typically get marked as the one who gets to be taken down a few pegs.
You and me both. Yeah, I think I've streamed with Hell twice. Yeah, sounds right. But yeah, she's great.
Yeah, wonderful. And hush, Buffy, listen. I am... I may be not super say-so.
It's coming to terms.
I'm honest with myself.
I want you to do me a favor.
Yes.
Look into Voice of Perseus. Next time he starts streaming, try to get him going on a Scottish accent, because, like me, he's a voice actor. He's a better voice actor than I am, but I don't know what it is. His Scottish voice, when he starts doing it, he gets stuck on it. Like, it overwrites his actual voice, and he sometimes forgets how to talk normally, and it is the funniest thing in the world.
He has the mask with the black and the red highlights to it, yes?
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, perfect. We have a friend in our personal group. Their name is Mono. And quite like me, we are playing this TTRPG that's cowboy themed. So we're doing the accents and all that stuff. And Mono gets stuck. They cannot stop doing the cowboy accent long after we're done with our session. It is hilarious to listen to them. And you can get them out of it by either reminding them how their voice sounds or giving them a different voice, and they'll start they'll start mimicking that accent as well.
I don't slip into it very often. But because I grew up in southwestern Colorado, I have a little bit of a mix of Western and Southern that can sometimes come out. It only comes out when I'm talking to or listening to somebody that also has that, like, twinge to their voice.
Mm-hmm.
But that is one of Neff's favorite things in the world, is when it slips out, because I never notice when it happens.
Yes. It's what's the word for it? It's kind of like a Freudian slip, but with accents.
Yeah, pretty much.
You'll never know that you're doing it, but it happens. Fun fact, for those of you who don't know, Pacific Northwesterners have an accent. And that accent is described as gravel voice. So if you ever hear anyone talking with like a bit of like a raspiness at the end of their sentences, or whenever they're pronouncing like H's and all that stuff, that is referred to as, well, our accent, which is weird to me because I didn't think about it that way. I thought we had just a normal accent. And everyone else was weird.
No. My particular flavor of accent, if you will, is essentially just like shaving off corners off of syllables and sounds and maybe omitting a letter or two. Like,
Oh, I think you have muted yourself by mistake. Wait, no, hold on. I may have muted myself. Hold on 1 second. Keep on talking for me. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Did you break it? We're good?
I think I broke it somehow.
Are we good?
My
Is there a
headphones are
delay?
being weird.
Well,
Oh yeah, you do have a delay.
that's weird.
Huh. Hold on.
Hold on, let me...
Yeah, leave the call really fast and come back in.
There we go.
Okay, I think we're caught back up. Thank God.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah, that was really strange. I thought for a moment that like my headphones gave out, but they didn't. I don't know. That was weird. Yeah, it wouldn't be a VTuber stream without some scuff.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Crow, I have a little bit of a test for you. As someone who has completed a lot of Zelda games and 100%ed them, I wanted to see if I could test your mettle and your knowledge on all things Zelda. So I have a list of questions. They are just straight up trivia. I won't be providing any like A, B, C, D, just because it could get confusing and clog up a few things. And I just want to see if you can answer these questions to the best of your ability. So, number 1. In what game is Link right-handed?
That would be technically 2 games. Skyward Sword and the specifically Wii version of Twilight Princess, because the Wii remote controls the swing of the sword, and most people are right-handed.
Yeah, they, fun fact, I know that you know this, but they mirrored the entirety of Twilight Princess on the Wii. Because they didn't want to go through and change it to being right-handed. I believe on GameCube he was left-handed. They ported it up to the Wii. He was right-handed because they mirrored everything, and then they brought it back down to being left-handed, which was very confusing when I played it on stream later on the Wii U version, because I played it on the normal Wii growing up.
He's also right-handed in Breath of the Wild. It just is. I think that's just going to be their new standard. Simplify it.
It was easier to mirror the game than to reprogram his movements. Yeah, Nintendo can be lazy.
Yeah,
they got their moments. Okay,
it makes it difficult to remember where things are because I think it's backwards, but it's fine.
All right, question number 2. What popular movie franchise inspired the original Legend of Zelda?
Movie franchise? Fuck, I don't know. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep.
From my understanding, Akira Toriyama derived it mostly from his joy of like going out and exploring and shit.
They did derive inspiration from a source, because yes, you are right in that he brought inspiration from the exploration of the outdoors. And of course, I will say you can take this with a grain of salt, because I did do research on it, but this is the internet we're talking about. Allegedly, Twin Peaks was the movie that inspired a majority of the original Legend of Zelda.
The more you know.
Yep.
I did not know that.
The more you know. All right. This one is a doozy. We'll see if you can get this one. In Japan, the original Legend of Zelda has a different name, ever so slightly. What is it?
I don't remember. Something adventure. I don't remember.
perhaps knowledge that you once had.
Knowledge that I probably once had, the trivia that I got from, like, Did You Know Gaming or something, but fuck if I know, man.
I will give you a little bit of a hint. It is, like, at least half of the title is still The Legend of Zelda. It basically has a subtitle to it. I see the gears are turning, and I love that I have the webcam to see the gears turning.
I don't remember.
Well, that's okay.
My brain keeps coming back to Adventure, but I don't remember The Legend of Zelda and Link.
And Link.
Love that.
No, it is.
I remember.
It was referred to as The Legend of Zelda: The Hyrule Fantasy.
The Hyrule Fantasy.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Which I thought was very intriguing.
I must be thinking of Adventure of Link.
Yeah, that's what I think you were thinking of. Okay, you did partially answer this. Question number 4. By the way, there are 5 questions. I won't make you do trivia all day long. Which city in Japan was used as the inspiration for the map of Breath of the Wild?
Is it Kyoto?
You got it. It is Kyoto.
It's like, at first I'm like, Tokyo? No, not Tokyo. Too metropolitan. Kyoto? Kyoto sounds right. Let me do that.
And you sort of answered it earlier. Like, you were on the right track. So, we're good. All right. So, here's the last one. The last question. We all know that Robin Williams named his daughter Zelda after Zelda. But where did Shigeru Miyamoto get the name Zelda from? This one got me really good.
It was either from some form of media, like a movie or TV show, or some kind of, it's like Japanese name for a kind of either animal or bug. I don't remember. He's a time traveler, got it from Zelda Williams, thus creating a paradox. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm. So, allegedly, again, this is could be a symptom of the internet. Allegedly, from F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife, Zelda Fitzgerald.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
It is wild to me where inspiration is drawn from. I like when I was looking at this, a lot of this is just not inspired within their own culture. It is within, it is everywhere. They went everywhere with a lot of things. You see it in movies like Studio Ghibli's movies, or at least their recreations. Miyazaki goes all over the place. He travels all over the world. He has his artists travel all over the world to craft the scenes of the movie. So it's I like the Japanese mindset. It's really cool to be all inclusive. Really fucking awesome. 07s for Crow. We all learned more about Legend of Zelda together. Listen, it's a game show without any consequences. Listen.
It's fine. I'm not losing anything. There was no prize to be won. Just my pride as a Zelda player.
It's okay. You'll know for next time. And now you can shove this knowledge into other people's faces. And you know what? You don't even have to credit me for teaching you this stuff.
All of you to assume that I'm going to remember this, and it's not just going to leave my brain because, ooh, shiny card.
All right. We are at the end of the interview, but I have 2 more questions for you. The first of which is, if you could ask the next interviewee any question that you would like, and you don't know who they are, what would that question be?
What is your dream project? If money and time were not a factor, you could do whatever you want, be it some kind of video or a play or some sort of art piece. What would be your magnum opus? What do you want to make?
I love this question. I'm gonna be thinking about that question myself, not gonna lie. I love when a question is presented in any shape or form and chat answers themselves. I think that's really cool. It's one of my favorite parts of this show. Perfect. And do you have a streamer in mind that you would like us to you would like us to raid into?
Not really. Like, I've got a lot of people that are live and streaming right now. A lot of people that are live. It's like nobody really jumps to mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I use this as an opportunity to either meet somebody new or just happen across somebody that we just happen to both know. To be an experience.
Well, we were talking about Novasorm quite a bit, and I believe that they are live at this moment in time. Or were live.
Streaming Void Train.
Yes, they are live right now. So I will get us all set up to raid into them. Crow, do you have in the next 3 days Tears of the Kingdom coming out, and you plan to do an 11-day subathon, or just donathon? There we go. Let me get you all sorted here as far as shoutouts go, and make sure that you all go follow Crow. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, you, for $5, could have yourself turned into a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
You or anything else. It is
or anything else.
Whatever you want the card to be made. Somebody, I don't remember who it was, somebody redeemed the thing for a custom card and just told me to pick an art piece of mine and turn myself into a card. That's what I did.
Well, there you go.
Whatever you want. The person gave me a meme.
Do you have a where'd my brain go? Do you have a raid message that you like to do for when you raid out?
I do. Well, mine's not very creative. I just have Crow Raid hype and a couple of emotes. Copy pasted. Because I came up with it like in a rush one day. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm too lazy to come up with anything else. So, there.
We'll do a slight variation of that one.
Sure.
We'll do Crow Frog Raid hype. And any assortment of emotes that you so choose. And of course, if you are a sub to Novasorm as we go right into them, definitely very appropriate to use their raid emotes as well. So, I was about to do another shout out instead of the raid message. It's always my favorite part is when you, especially when you have a moving VTuber model, when you are clearly typing something out and you freeze entirely and no longer talk because your brain is at full capacity.
My favorite is when it bugs out really bad and it looks like they fucking snapped their neck backwards.
Yes.
So funny. I don't remember who it was. Someone that I was watching, it broke to the point that their head flipped inside out.
Oh, goodness.
So it was just like a neck with face kind of peeking out through the torso. It was so funny. I don't remember who it was. But it was great.
All right.
Right. Prediction. What was the prediction?
Oh, shoot. It was, would I accidentally refer to you as a VTuber at any point during our interview? I did not.
You?
I did not.
Okay.
I made double sure that I did not. We'll choose the outcome. I don't think so. Congratulations to everyone who voted number 2.
Hey.
Yeah, it did almost happen, but I made sure that I I kept true to myself. So
Nice. Proud of you.
all right. Well, now that the raid message has been hidden, I hope to see you all later. And this Friday we will have another Poison Points. So I hope to see you all then. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
You see, the funny part is because I paid out the prediction, I can't see how long we have until the raid, and also I can't actually put the raid forward.
Really?
Yeah, it's completely
So we're
in the
just
way.
gonna-
Oh, there we go.
There it goes. So we're just gonna jam. There we go.